Hi. All right, so I just wanted to go over day 6 and 7 now. So if you made it that far, then congratulations. That's an awesome diet. So you've fasted, you've done juices, you've had smoothies, you've had soups, you've basically done gaps and bone broth, and you've had easy to digest soups and stews, and you've also had raw, vibrant living salads. So that's super amazing. And now it's the weekend, so you have Saturday and Sunday, and I want you to, this is where the sustainable part comes. I want you to feel like you can live a little, but we're still going to, we're still going to follow the rules on these days. So these aren't cheat days. These are basically listen to yourself days. So basically we want to start out and we want to say, I'm just looking at my notes here, what I tell myself. And I basically say it's a whole foods diet. So I'm only having organic foods, and I'm also making sure that I have some greens on the weekend as well. So greens, so if I want bacon and eggs in the morning, that's great. I don't eat the whites, but I will dip bacon or ham into the yolk. If it's a good bacon, like if it's pasture bacon, dip it into the yolk and eat it, and then just get rid of my whites. But I cook up greens like kale with garlic, just chop it really, really finely, and garlic, and fry that up, and that is delicious as a side. Or, Swiss chard or whatever you have, spinach, that, a plate of greens, even sauteed with garlic, is a really great accompaniment to like bacon and eggs on the morning with your family, and you don't eat the toast. So basically, we're still not having grains on the weekend, so no grains at all, no dairy. So we're just going to keep grains and dairy out of the diet completely. Low sugar, so no sugar, no white sugar at all. But on the weekend, so now if you want to look in some online or in a paleo cookbook that you have, or a raw vegan cookbook, or a keto cookbook, so those are all wonderful diets. You can make a treat. So you could make like a paleo brownie, say with sweet potato, a little bit higher carbs, and almond butter. And you can make that up. You can make a wonderful recipe. You can find tons of recipes online. So, or if you need a piece of dark chocolate that night, just to keep you going for the next week, then do it. Have a really high quality piece of dark chocolate that's like 80% cacao, and I get one with coconut sugar instead of cane sugar, but that's just for the extra. And basically you can make these little treats. So or there's a raw vegan, brownie, or a raw vegan square, or a little truffle or something like that. But these are all whole, real foods. So we might be using dates, we might be using nuts and seeds, we might be using vegetables or fruits or whatever the case is. But we can have a little more leeway on the weekend, because this is what satisfies your soul and it keeps you a little bit happy, as long as we're using whole foods and we're sticking to like raw vegan recipes, paleo recipes, keto recipes, these types of things. And we're making sure we have no grains, no dairy, no sugar. We're still consuming high vegetables and greens, and we're having all organic. And you can, get a little bit more creative with it. And if you want to not be so low carb right now and you want to have a banana, great, go ahead and do that on the weekend. So we're just eating in moderation still, so we're not stuffing ourselves, and we're eating what our body calls us to eat, as long as it's whole, real foods. And we're able to, get a little bit more creative and use the recipes that we've been wanting to. Maybe we want to make fajitas one night, or, whatever it is. As long as it's paleo and we're using the right ingredients, then that's what I say is good. And I also say, I go back to listen to yourself on the weekend. Ask yourself the question on day 6 and 7. What do I need to eat? What do I need to heal? Do I need more water? And if so, be drinking more. Do I need more juices? Do I feel like more smoothies? Do I want more salads? Do I need to fast longer? If so, if one day of fasting isn't long enough for you, then take the weekend. to fast the other 2 days, and then you'll have a 3-day fast going into the whole week. So you can do that. If you want to be vegan on the weekend because you have cancer, or you're trying to reduce your toxic load, or you're trying to clear out something out of your body, then go completely vegan or completely raw vegan. If you feel like you need to build a little bit more, it's wintertime, you need to be nourished, you need paleo foods, you need a lot of comfort foods, then go that way. And if your body says, no, I'd like to try ketosis, then start on ketosis right on that night after your last soup and stew, and start ketosis for the whole weekend, and then go into your fasting day Monday. That will give you 3 solid days of ketosis a week, and the rest is pretty low carbs. So that would be fantastic as well. So ask yourself, and if you haven't had fish by the weekend, then by all means incorporate fish into your meal. And I have these awesome, these salmon patties that I call them. I just throw a can of salmon into the blender with a huge 2 cups of spinach and a little bit of chives, whatever, spices, salt and pepper. I mash it all up so it's like one big dough thing. I might add an egg yolk to it, or some gelatin as an egg substitute, or some flax seeds and chia seeds. Grind it all up together and then cook it, fry it as a patty on each side. It's delicious, and you can have it for lunch on top of a salad. You can have it for dinner alone, a couple of them, on top of greens, or you could have it for breakfast on the side when everybody else is having eggs, if you're intolerant to eggs. So that's a wonderful thing to do as well. But make sure you get your fish in there, especially the salmon. And if you haven't had organ meat, it's great to incorporate organ meat. So go ahead and have some liverwurst, and make up some raw vegan crackers, some wonderful homemade crackers, or a dip like that you could use on the weekend. That also would be wonderful. So remember, if you haven't had your fish and your organ meat, that's why we try to get it in earlier on the salad and the soups and stew and salad days, on the Thursday and Friday on day 4 and 5. But if you haven't, go ahead and do that. And like I said, be more lenient with yourself. Eat when you feel like eating. Make sure that you're following the rules, but just have a little bit more leeway with your family. If you have any social time, with that. Or if you're just on your own, just something to satisfy that urge as you move into the week. And we're going to be starting again with your water fasting day 1 come Monday, and clear everything out. So hopefully this diet is working for you. It's a very difficult diet to follow at first, but it gets easier as the weeks go on, you'll find. So set yourself up. You're starting again Monday, and you're right back into it. And you will find that it will get easier and easier over time. And this is a very nourishing diet for your body out of all the ones that I have done. So that's why I created this.